person that there were a lot of really great people at Microsoft. And so like Dane, Heather, there are a bunch of other people. I think the person who really spent the most time working with me was Liz Yang at Microsoft, and she was the GPM for my team. And I think like the thing that really, I guess, well, there are two sides to this. So the first thing was that she really truly cared about the development of my career. And I think that's something that, after having other managers, finding someone that really cares about growing people, it's a lot harder than you'd think, unfortunately. And so I think she showed me the way that you could be a very caring manager, but also one that gives you feedback and makes sure that you're doing the right thing, right? So that was part of it. And then the other part was that, she was a very experienced engineer. And so she had actually worked in Bell Labs for a little bit. And she was like an old school, knew her shit type of engineer, and worked with a lot of different types of product people. And when she made the move over to product management, we had actually worked together on projects where I was a more junior product manager and she was a more senior like dev manager, basically. And so I think like all of the fact that she had that alternate experience from the other side, I think was really valuable to be able to grow myself as a product manager as well, or a program manager at Microsoft, but maybe I'll stop bringing that up. Yeah, so I think that was really key, is having that alternate experience of looking into product management and seeing what she needed as a development manager was really, really helpful to me. And I think this also relates to the fact that, when I was working for her, I ended up becoming a lead program manager or product manager as well, and ended up managing my own people. And so I think, that idea of being someone on the other side, I think is really applicable when it comes to management as well. So, I ended up becoming a manager between a manager of managers and then individual contributors. And so having her to really help guide me through that experience was really, really, really helpful. But I think also in the end, something that she really imparted in me were a lot of really interesting like career lessons from the standpoint of, being a manager. Think about how you would actually be a better employee so that you can understand what you expect out of the relationship with your individual contributors. But then also, I think there's a lot around the reality of the situation within corporate circumstance. And so kind of like, how do you work on things like promotions in reality, right? Like, and this was the time that Microsoft was still doing a lot around stack ranking and kind of, the different percentage pools for different people. And so even though I'm really bad at political aspects of like corporate, like wading through the corporate structure, that's something I'm very bad about. I kind of have a problem with authority in general. And so I think having her as my guide for this she was a very pragmatic guide. I mean, she cared, but she also wanted to make sure I understood the reality of the situations that I was dealing with. And so I think she was incredibly helpful in that particular case. And I definitely, have loved working with her.